Hello everyone, welcome back. In this part, we're going to talk about inheritance inside of our classes and objects. To understand this fully, you need to watch our object and class parts of our JavaScript crash course that I'm going to give you the link in the description. So if you haven't watched those, please first watch them, then come to this video. First of all, here, we're going to create some classes and create some object using our class. So let's say here we have our class of vehicle right here, which of course inside of this, we're going to have our constructor right here. And we're going to have our year of our vehicle, then the name or the brand, then we're going to have our color and what type of vehicle is this. For example, is this car, motorcycle, or other thing? And here inside of our constructor, we're using our this keyword to assign our parameters into our object. So we use the year, name. Then after we created our classes, now let's create some object using our class. So here we're going to have our car1, which is going to be new vehicle. And it's better to use the name of your classes with uppercase letter. And then we call the constructor. For the year, let's say this is 2018. The car name is going to be M4. The color is going to be red. And the type, of course, is car. And if we print our car1 into our console, as you see, we got this result. After this, let's actually have some methods inside of our class too. So here, let's say we have our method of getDetail right here. And this is going to simply console log the type of our vehicle. So it's going to say this is, and then we concat that with our car's type. Now, if we run this one here, car1.getDetail, and run our code, you can see that we got the result of this is car. But in some cases, when we want to declare our objects, we want to declare them based on their own, and not all of them are vehicle. So if we have, for example, some motorcycles, we don't want to declare that and give the type to motorcycle. What we can do is, because all of our vehicles is going to have these items, we can use these items inside of that by creating our class of car, for example, and then inherit these details from our vehicle class. So how we're going to use that? We create another class right here with the name of car as normal. But after we created this class car, before of our curly braces, we use our keyword of extends and use the name that we want to inherit details from that, which in this case is going to be our vehicle. And by using this, we are going to create object of car, which this is going to be something like a child of this vehicle. So this is going to be parent and this is going to be child. And what we need to do inside of our car is a little different than normal classes. So here, as normal, we're going to have our constructor, and inside of this, we're going to have the details that we want. For example, let's say we want these details right here. We don't want this type because all of them is going to be car. And for replacement of this car, let's say we're going to have our car note right here. And then inside of here, we're going to use another thing of super, which is going to be function. And what this is basically when we use this super keyword right here and use these parentheses, we're going to run the constructor of our parent object and class. So if we use this, it's as same as we use the constructor of our class, which is going to be this constructor. And if we want to create our car as a child of our vehicle, we need to pass the parameters that we received from here into our super function, which is going to create type of vehicle object for us. So here we're going to have this year, name, and color. We don't have this car node because this is only for our car. But as you see here, we have another parameter of type, and we don't have any variables here to receive that from the user. So in this type of situations, we use our static values that we want to pass into our parent class constructor, which in this case is going to be car right here. And after this one, we're going to have this car node, and let's say we have another function of get node right here, and inside of this we simply console log our car node. But first we need to assign that to our objects property. So here we have our car node, and here again we're going to have this dot car node. And now let's create another object using our car class. So here we have our car2, which is going to be new car instead of vehicle. And inside of this, let's pass the parameters. For the year, let's say this is 2020. The model is going to be Challenger. The color, let's say we want this to be in black. And for the node, let's say this is muscle car. And now here, if we simply console log our car2 into our console, you can see that, let's clear our console and run again. You can see that we got the object of type car, which is going to have these items inside of it. But here we have our get node method too. So let's test that too. We have car2 and method of get node. And if we run this, let's clear our console again. You can see that we got the node that we put, which is this is muscle car. But because we use inheritance and this class is child of this parent class, we have access to this getDetail method too. So here if we use this getDetail method on our car2, which we declared that using our car class, and run our code, you can see that we got that result appearing right here. But pay attention that our car1 is created by our parent class. So we cannot access, for example, this getNode method which is inside of this car, because always child can access to its parents' items which they have inherit them. But parents cannot use their child's methods and other things that we have. So for example here, if we use our car1.getDetail, because we have this getDetail, if we run, you can see that we got this printing. But if we use our car1.getNode, you can see that we got error and there is no such a function inside of our car1 object. And of course, we can have multiple childs for our parent. For example, here we got our car. Let's say we want another one of motorcycles. So what we do, we just simply copy this part of code and paste this here, change the car to the motorcycle, and we want to use again our vehicles constructor right here, but instead of type of car, we want this motorcycle again right here. And here we want to have motorcycle node and not car node. And here this dot motorcycle node. And we want to change these 1, 2, and we're ready to go. Now let's create one motorcycle right here. So we use our const keyword down. This is motorcycle, of course, and we use new motorcycle constructor. And here let's pass the detail. So for the year, let's say 2024. For the name, let's say this is breakout. Color is going to be black. And for the node, let's say we want to say this is cruiser motorcycle, which if you don't know, this is type of motorcycles that we have, as same as this is type of cars that we have. And now here, if we console log our motorcycle into our console and run our code, actually we have this one. Let's clear this and run again. You can see that we got this object with the details that we pass into our constructor. And as same as our car2, we have access to this getNode method. So let's check that. we have our motorcycle right here and method of get node. And if we run this, you can see that we got this is cruiser motorcycle. And if we use our get detail method right here, which if you look, this is method inside of our vehicle, it's going to run this is and grab the type of our vehicle for us, which here we have our type. And if you pay attention, you can see our types inside of our super keyword, which is constructor of our vehicle, are static. So it's going to be car or motorcycle. And if we run this get detail, it's going to come and grab the type of this object, which is going to be motorcycle, because we use this motorcycle as the type. And here, if we run, you can see that we got the result of this is motorcycle. And another thing that it's very good to mention right here is that you need to use this super keyword always on top of other codes that you have. So this super keyword and the super function right here must be called at the top line of our constructor. So always if you want to use super, it's going to be line below the constructor. And you cannot use multiple super inside of your constructor. So this is going to be only once in your constructor and in the first line. For example, let's say if we have another super right here with some, for example, let's make the year 2019, name, for example, we have string of name and same for the color. And again, this is motorcycle type. But if we run, you can see that we got error of super constructor may only be called once, and we cannot use this twice. Please give a like and subscribe to catch next videos.